Okay, so for this video, I'm going to show you how to do your practice glass cutting. So you're going to take a piece of your practice glass, place it just directly on top of this sheet. You'll need the instructions and the glass cutter. And as always, you'll want to wear your safety goggles for this. And then for score number 1, you're going to look at the number 1. This is a straight score, and it divides the glass into 1/3 on one side and 2/3 on the other side. So for this, one way you're going to hold your glass cutter at an angle. It's always good to stand up while doing this. Anytime that you score the glass, you only want to score one time. You do not want to go back and forth. You don't want to hold it like this. You're going to hold it, and I like to put one finger to help stabilize, and you're just going to go along that line. And you should hear that noise, kind of a crackling noise. Once you hear that, you're going to flip over your glass, hold it down to the table. Don't raise it here. Keep it by the table, and you're going to tap, gently tap, and it should break right in half. For the second score, it says try using the pliers or grozers to help with this break. So you're going to want these, and you can see number 2 is this fine line. Now, same thing, just one score away from you, putting enough pressure. Now, for this one, you do not want to tap the glass because it's such a small score, which is why it suggests using the pliers. So when you use the pliers, you want to hold them as close to the score as possible and gently, I might put a bit of pressure. Oops, there it is. And gently, it should snap on that score line. So that's your second one. Score 3 and 4 are the same. So these are curved lines, as you can see. So this is just a way for you to practice it twice. So I'm going to start with number 3. Same thing. I'm standing up. And this is practice, so if it's not perfect, that's okay. If it breaks, it's okay. But for this one, it says that you want to apply gentle pressure. So if you're snapping with your hands, you can just gently break it. Now, you want to go, if it doesn't break right away, that's why I flipped it and did the other end. So that's for my third one, and I'm just going to practice that again for my fourth one. So if it fails the first time, that's why you practice again. Okay, so gentle pressure, and it snaps. So you've done 1 through 4. Now the 5th one is going to be one of the most challenging ones to achieve. So you're going to, now I'm going to flip my paper just because it's a little easier for me to do it that way. So after I've made my cut for the 5th one, I'm going to use my running pliers. That's the ones with the little plastic. And now the secret for the running pliers is that you, unlike the grozers where you go against the score line, you're going perpendicular to the score line. So I'm going actually right here, and I'm just applying a bit of pressure, being very gentle, and I'm going really gently to apply pressure. Now this one, it might break, and that's totally okay. That's why we practice. But you should hear a crackle. Oops. And as you can see, mistakes happen. So that maybe I put too much pressure, maybe my original score line wasn't hard enough, so I would just have to go back. Okay, so since my last one broke, I got another piece of scrap metal. You really don't even need it to be this big. You can just get it any scrap that's big enough. That way you're saving glass, not wasting it. Now I'm going to try this one again. And I'm again going to be using my running pliers, applying gentle pressure. Until I hear it crackling, which I don't hear. All right, so I did cut that. Applying that gentle pressure is going to help you to pull that piece out. Number 6 is another way to practice cutting your more circular shapes. Awkward angle there. But for this one, you're going to use your breakers, and it wants you to pull it out. Now this, again, it might be better to first, sometimes you might have to mix and match methods if they're not working. You're the one to determine the best way. I'm applying gentle pressure to the actual score line. It's not, there we go. Then you can use your breakers to pull now I can see that it's kind of started to break there, but less so here. So I'm going to get these again and put them against that line. And now I have my piece. So again, try all of the different methods, see what works for different cuts. Do keep in mind that these circular cuts are a lot more difficult than the straight or rectangular cuts. So try to pick a pattern that you feel you can accomplish. If you know you want that challenge, then by all means go for the more circular shapes. But if you know that you want to start out with something a little bit more simple, this is your first time, then I would start out with something that has those more straight edge rectangular shapes.